for this experiment, our epic soil testing experiment, what would a dependent variable be? Pauline, what are we measuring? What are we measuring about the soil? Okay, so the nutrient levels. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah. So the nutrient levels, usually parts per million or grams per liter. So the levels of nutrients. Okay, how much of the nutrients do we have there? Okay. So that goes for the blue kits. Ashley, we do have the test over here, which is the jar test. Okay. What would be the independent variable for the jar test? What are we trying to determine for the jar test? And what does that mean? How much? Like the soil for the jar test? Like what do you end up doing? Determine the kind of particle the soil has. Okay. So for that one, it would be the soil particle percents. Okay, how much sand, how much silt, how much clay. Okay, how much of that? The levels of those. Now, Albert, what would be the independent variables? These are what we chose beforehand to test and how to test it. What do we? Well, did we test moisture? Yeah, let's go there. What is the basic? What's the independent variable we're testing with the jar test? Maybe it's too easy. Like what is this? For the jar test, we're testing the amount of clay, silt, and sand because that means we know the soil's what? Texture, okay? So soil texture is the independent variable. This is what, we're going to test this value. We don't know the percent silt, sand, and clay, but this is what we're going to test. Okay, so the independent variable in that case would be, the soil texture. And what about in the cases with the blue boxes, our little chemistry box kits? Brittany, what would these independent variables be? How would you describe them? Like, what's this? Which one did you do? This is pH. So pH, that would be one. Who can tell me, you remember what this one was? Nitrogen. Nitrogen is another independent variable. I'll just put N. What's this one? This one turned blue, I believe. Phosphorus. And this last one over here, potassium. What's the symbol for potassium? K. Yes, kind of confusing, huh? Okay. So those are our independent variables. We set out, we plan to test those things. Okay? We don't know the levels until we do the experiment. All right? So your dependent variable is always what you're measuring during your experiment. Okay? I love that one, the phosphorus test, I think it was, that beautiful blue color. Which one turns pink? The nitrogen? I think the nitrogen has a pink color. Okay? And the the pH has a nice color indicator, and soda, I think they all have color indicators. Okay. Oh, no, this one does not have color. Well, it does turn a color, but you fill up that tube until you can't see the line, and then you write down a number. Okay, the Gulf Stream and the East Coast, how might that affect their weather? Samuel, what would you say? So warm air, warm water, it's a warm current, right? So you're going to have warmer air blowing over the East Coast. So what would warmer air typically give you? Warmer air holds more water or moisture. And if you have more moisture, you're going to probably have more rain, more precipitation. Is that going to give you a greener environment with trees and grasses and bushes and shrubs? Yes, it is. You guys been to the East Coast before? Been to the Midwest? Chicago? Really? I love Chicago. I went there for the first time this summer. I loved it. You too? And I couldn't care less about Chicago before. I seriously couldn't care. I'm like, if I never go to Chicago, I'm fine. But guess what? I loved it there. I thought it was an amazing spot. But if you go to the Midwest, you go to the East Coast, if you grew up on the West Coast like I did, in a dry area, like I think most of you grew up here, you just don't see grass and trees everywhere, do you? You don't. But over there, it's green everywhere. And it's kind of nice. It's just like everywhere you look, it's green. There's a forest, there's trees, there's grass. It's pretty cool. Okay, so more precipitation. So more precipitation in general. Since you have that warmer ocean current coming over, what are some maybe negative things that might happen from that? That might disrupt your life a little bit. Not tornadoes so much, but hurricanes, storms, tropical storms coming in. Okay, storms, hurricanes. Maybe not the hurricane itself, but the remnants. Like we got some remnants. Did the rain we get yesterday, is that a remnant of a storm? No, it wasn't. We got some rain a couple weeks ago that was a remnant of the storm. Hugo, I think it was, something. So you're going to have more precipitation over on the East Coast because of that warm current. Over us with California, do we have a red arrow or a blue arrow? It's cold. It's a blue arrow. So wherever you see the blue arrows, typically you're going to get more or less rain. Less rain, less rain. Colder air holds less water. So take that into account for the test on Friday. Okay? I did put, people were asking me for more study materials. Okay? So I did put a practice quiz up on College Board, AP Central, whatever it's called, for 4.8, 4.9, the El Nino section. Okay? Like 9 or 10 questions. So just do that. They'll show you the answers. It'll be a good study aid for you. Okay? So, let's see. Has your group done two tests so far? So see if we can finish them. So I think everybody finished their test from last time. So like this is group 5. Come get your stuff, and you're going to move on to the next one. Okay? This is group 1. Get your stuff and move on to the next test. Okay? Remember, make sure you're reading the correct test, right? Look on the label, read the test. Have any questions, let me know. All right, let's go. Hopefully most of our groups are intact still. Nuestros grupos. Oh man, I almost had the Spanish. Hopefully most of our groups are still intact. Esperemos que la mayoría de nuestros grupos sigan intactos. All right, so you guys are done with the soil test? So you guys were done with this one, right? Okay, so you're moving on to pH. Yeah, go to your new station. What's up? Oh, yeah, I'll show you the picture. I think something went a little funky. It was the same color you had before. All right. So your group mostly here. All right. Still got most of everybody? All right. Every group has some people left. That's good. All right. You guys ready? This is my favorite. I love this blue color. It is so beautiful. Okay. Hold on. Need to get you your photo. Oh, here it is. So it looked kind of brown.
Oh, that's not in the chart.
So do your best you can. Why don't you just kind of guess based on the tone, I guess? Oh, I'll come help you. Oh, yeah, sure. It is cold outside. That's for sure. You guys should get out your phones and shine light on your column. Yeah, that is a chilly breeze. All right, you got your light? Move this out of the way. What's you group? What, 3? Yeah. Oh, you're 3? Okay. Bring your light over. Ooh. Okay. All righty. So you can see. Hold this right here. I'm going to put a mark at the very top. You can, oh, this is too big. Well, is it? I think it might be all right. Let me get the smaller one. Sorry. You got to be precise, right? Yeah, use that one to mix it in. Okay, and then
we don't have.
And then pour it into this.
Oh wait, 4 or 5.
So just fill it up about halfway with that flocculating solution. Yeah. And then do the mixing, okay? Good question. Okay. So you want to mark the top level of your soil, which is about right there. And so how many, you're going to measure everything from here. So that's, how many milliliters is that? About 62, right? Now, let's come down here first. Do you see a difference in the soil as you come up through the column? Like I see all the sparkle stuff, then it stops right here, and then it's this kind of the matte color. So what do you think this layer would be? That'd be your sand. And this would be your silt. Now, if you look carefully, do you see a layer on top of the silt? Do you see a little layer on top of the silt? Yeah, like I see a little white line on top of your silt. Do you guys see that? There's a little white line on top of the silt layer, and I believe that's your clay. So what you guys got to do is kind of estimate how many mil. So the total is 62. you got to measure, use this, you know. Oh. I guess they already, I think somebody measured yours already. So see if you agree. They measured this as the line between the sand and the silt. So if that's the case, you're going to take this measurement divided by 62 for your percent, right? Then for your silt, you got to calculate the millimeters here divided by 62. And then, is that a millimeter or half a millimeter, do you think, layer of clay? What do you think? Maybe half? So yeah, 0.5 divided by 62. Okay? So write that out. Once you do your own, yeah, so fill this out, calculate the texture class, write down an analysis, and if you have time, choose any other one and do the same thing. Okay? And just write down the group number. Okay? But do yours first, and then do maybe another one or two. All right. Is that good? Okay. All right, how's it going with the... Ooh. You good? You guys are good? Getting that filtrate nice and clean, I see. So remember, for this one, that final test, you're going to be adding the solution to this until you can't see that line anymore from the top. Actually, there's another. No, it's this one. And then wherever that level is, where it'll block out the vision of the line, that's what you write down as the level. The what's this? Potassium? Potassium level, yeah. Yeah. All right, how's it going over here getting the filtrate? You remember how to do a filter? Okay, good. Glad I caught you guys. So fold it over again. If anybody's doing a filter and you need help with how to do a filter, let me know. Okay. So initially you kind of want to just open it like this, right? And put it in, but that's going to leak out. So what you got to do, open up one of these corners and pop it in just like that. Okay? And then you filter it from there. All right. You guys know how to do the filter? So you're gonna filter it into this? Yeah. So when you do filter papers like this, you fold it over, and then in half again, and then you take one side, either this side or this side, and just open it up like that. And that's where it'll sit in the fill. You pour your stuff right there. Okay? All right. How's the pH doing? You let it settle? Good. Yeah. Oh,